Right, so, much to everyone's surprise, probably even Gaijin's as well, 1.53 has been released. Um, I've just kind of like left it on this screen so you can see the kind of things that you get at this kind of level of logging in, if you couldn't call it that. I mean, like, since they had this award thing going, I think within the first week I ballsed it up with something. I think it was out for 24 hours or whatever and missed a login. But near as damn it, that's going all the way back to when this thing started. And I just thought I'd kind of show you guys the level of rewards you get at this period of logging in. There's mainly because I just thought, you know, a lot of you might be thinking, oh, you probably get way better rewards, you know, the longer you've been logged in for. And no, you don't. For example, there you go. Right. But as I said, 1.53 has just literally been released. I have had a look through everything that they've added in, as far as, you know, aircraft, vehicles, and other changes go. I haven't obviously checked them out in game yet, and I'll be doing that over the next hour or so, or however long it takes me to go through them all. Well, I think the biggest changes with 1.53 are actually within the game engine itself. The changes to the graphics engine, which are kind of slightly noticeable, I suppose. There's a little bit more texture in there from what I can see. And it looks as though the metal's indentated, or it's got bump mapping at least. Right. But yeah, as far as the vehicles go, I'll start off with the Americans. I might as well because I'm on them. And just work through them. So, aircraft. The Americans have had kind of two new light bombers, I suppose, dive bombers, naval bombers even, added in, as well as numerous amounts of P-38s for some reason. They were supposed to be getting a new P-51, but I don't see that. I heard it was supposed to be a premium, but it's not there. My guess is they've pulled it for some reason. And it's not in the list, and it's not on the list on their website either. But either way, they get the TBD Devastator, which is one of the new aircraft. This is a naval dive bomber. It seems to carry quite a lot of bombs as default, although I'm not sure what size they are. 1,200 pounders. That's not too bad to begin with. Let's see. Well, either way, I think from what I recall, what is this? It's the TBD. That's the Devastator. Yeah. I'm not sure if that was actually any good or not. I might have to go back through and check you know, historical data as far as these aircraft goes, but yeah, I remember at least most of the dive bombers that the Americans had it being worse for wear whenever they got intercepted. But that's kind of the same thing for virtually every other kind of bomber that did that without fighting an escort. Right, this is the other one they get, which is another new one, obviously. The SB2C-4. I think that's a modification of the Helldiver. Yeah. And let's just have a look what else we've got. So, XP38G hasn't been changed. I was understanding that was actually getting changed or replaced. Interesting. And that's one of the new ones, which is P38E. An earlier variant of the Lightning already in game. So I'd assume that it probably has worse performance, but that doesn't necessarily ring true in this game, unfortunately. Or in real life, for that matter. As in a lot of cases, sometimes the earlier models had more powerful engines, but less reliable. Okay, next one up, P38J. Let's just bring the stats for that as well. I mean, the armament for these is pretty much the same, I assume. Well, I don't assume. I'm guessing that there will be several modifications throughout the aircraft. Well, not just several, but many, with regards to just slight variations in the airframe, probably changes within the engines as well, and just overall design. It will be very slightly different to the other variants. I mean, from what I can see there, it's difficult to actually spot anything without having them side by side. So yeah, you've got the P38J and the P38L. They're both in there, and now they're at tier 4. Now that seems to be quite high for them, considering how bad the P38G behaves. Both the non-premium and the premium versions. Alright. As far as the rest of things go for the Americas, or for USA, just noticed something else. I don't know what that. Right, there's a black line. Okay. No, right, never mind. It just looks kind of weird having a big black line down there when there isn't any tier 5 premiums in the game, and they've said that they won't be putting any in either. Anyway, let's go to the tanks and have a look at what they've been putting in here. I mean, I've not obviously checked on the dev server. This is my first look at 1.53, and I've kind of done that on purpose because I didn't want to see, you know, how much of a mess this was. Okay, that's really quite interesting. That's really quite interesting. Yes, I know, it makes sense. Wow. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, right, yeah, that little trick that Gaijin have pulled there, that's going to be greatly frowned upon, I think, by the community. That's not nice. I really don't rate that as being a good move from Gaijin. Right, looking at what else they're putting for the Americans, you've got the T25 sat here, which is the prototype to the M26, or the interim version, between the Sherman and the M26. It's going to be about range 6, okay. Well, that's not so bad. At least it won't be fighting against T10Ms all the time. But yeah, it's a bit of an odd battle range, to be honest, and it won't really have any benefit, I don't think, unless it's getting dented constantly, which I kind of doubt. Although, you know, with the way that the matchmaker works at the moment, with everything getting shunted downwards, I'd expect this to probably be getting updated more often than not to fill the vacuum of what's at 6.7. But either way, that's the T25. Let me just do a preview of that so you can see what it's all about. And it's got a 9mm gun. Okay, it's the M3 cannon. I think is that the same one as the one in M26. Yeah, it is. So it should have decent penetration. I mean, really decent penetration. Let's have a quick look at the ammunition types. M82, 165mm. That's lower. I'm pretty sure that's quite a bit lower as far as the penetration values go. No, it's not. It's exactly the same. Never mind. Right, so yeah, you've basically got a 90mm gun sat at to about range 6 then. Another one. I say another one. I thought that had about range 6 as well. Well, okay, you've got multiple. But that's at about range 6, which is, yeah, the lowest rating for a 90mm gun, I think, in the game. Surprise, surprise, it's a new vehicle. I wonder if that's going to get changed up. Right, and the other one that they've added in is the T92. Now the T92 is a light tank, which is also, yeah, kind of in the, what's it called? I have to describe this. Time warping kind of period for this game. It's a post-war tank that's basically, there we go, no information. That's basically been teleported back in time so it fights against World War II vehicles. And yes, this is you know, the way that Gaijin, you know, do things. I mean, it's just kind of comical, really. I'm not going to go into it now because I'm trying to just go through it and review what has been put into the game. But there are more and more vehicles appearing like this, where you've got post-war vehicles with World War II kind of like level of battle range, which are wrong anyway. But going back to what they've done over here. Now, I'd read that the M26 T99 was going to be put into game at 14,970 gold. And in theory it kind of has. Because basically, in order to get the M26 T99, you have to buy the Calliope. If you don't buy the Calliope, you can't buy the M26 T99. And the Calliope is like 9,900 something gold. So, yeah. That's how they've, wrangled that little thing. Rather than, making the player pay to get basically shafted on by what they'll be fighting against. Because, I mean, the Calliope I've driven at multiple times, and I can tell you now, those rockets are very ineffective. The rockets on the M26 T99, as far as I'm aware, are the same. Difference being is they don't have tubes to protect them, and therefore can probably get destroyed by machine gun fire. Yes. And yeah, the other thing as well is the M26 T99 has about only 6.7, which means that will get up tiered against the T10M and all the T4s and the IS4s, IS3s, whatever you want to throw at them, basically. So yeah, I certainly won't be buying that. I obviously can because I've got the Calliope because I tested that out, but I won't be getting that. That I am sure. Alright, so yeah, that's the Americans done, as far as what they've had added into the game. As far as I'm aware, anyway, I've not missed out on anything there. Yeah, so now on to the Germans. Now for the Germans, as per normal, they're kind of not really getting that much, I suppose. We've got... Wait a sec. Oh god, what have they done now? Oh, right. Yeah, this obviously makes sense. I mean, seriously, how can they be this bad, really, at doing their own game? Why is the Dornier sat in the in this kind of like lineup? I know it's supposed to be the Night Fighter variant, but it just, yeah, it really, I mean, it just looks terrible. It really does. That looks messy more than anything. But yeah, as far as the Germans go, they've added, as far as I'm aware, they've added in, let me think, 4 different aircraft, of which one isn't going to be available. It's going to be a limited kind of aircraft, which is the E7 variant of the 109 E4. Well, sorry, not E4, of the 109. So that I'd obviously read about that a while ago, with regards to them putting it into the game. But as far as it not being available as normal, the first time I heard about that was literally when I was reading through the patch notes this morning. There is another vehicle like that as well, which is the E100. That's going to be available in a limited format, as and when Gaijin get their act together. And this is one of the other bombers or planes they've added in for the Germans, which is the Dornier 17Z-2. This is just a different variation of the Dornier that's kind of already in game. And again with this one, the Dornier 17Z7, this is the Night Fighter variant, i.e. it was designed to attack bombers. Has a 20mm MG151 cannon in the nose, along with 3 machine guns. Yep, those are those 3 top ones are the machine guns, and that's the cannon at the bottom. It does have a turret as well. Actually, no, there's 3 turrets. There's 1 there, and 1 there. And where's the 4th one then? Oh, 3rd one even. I think they're lying again. It does say, yeah. Oh, it says machine, right, MG times 3. I wonder if that's a dual mount beneath. No, it's not, it's a single. Okay. So, yeah, they're lying again. Or at least getting their details wrong. Maybe there is a hidden MG, somewhere. Or maybe it's SoonTM. I don't know. By the way, yeah, this is the other aircraft they've added in for the Germans. Again, it's at tier 1. So, it's not going to be doing much down there as far as earning RP lines or even research points. And as far as the German tanks go, because there aren't any of the premiums added in for the Germans, at least as far as I'm aware, we have another premium. The Panzerwerfer 42, which is this thing. There we go. Wow. Okay, that's the first time I've seen that grille on this kind of half track. Ever. That I have to say is a little bit unusual. That, yeah, I honestly, in every other game that I've seen this, or imagery that I've seen of this vehicle, that nose is completely different. The front part of that is completely different. Of that, I'm pretty sure. Even its shape is different as well. But either way, this is another premium vehicle, another rocket vehicle, which, by the way, is a trend. It's not just a something that's random. Gaijin have stated that all rocket vehicles of for any nation will be premium vehicles. So if you're getting your hopes up as far as SoonTM goes, ain't gonna happen. At least until they U-turn on that little decision and put them into the tech tree. I'm pretty sure they... Well, I'm not pretty sure that they will do that eventually, but, you can never tell with these guys. They U-turn more often than politicians from what I've seen. And yeah, that's 4,800 gold with a battle rating of 4.3 at tier 2. Which, coincidentally, I believe, is, yep, it's the same as the Calliope, but the Calliope is at tier 3. Don't really ask why or how the tiering works with regards to the battle rating, because as far as Gaijin or myself goes, well, at least as far as myself goes, it's random. As far as Gaijin goes, their answer will be so convoluted and complicated that I'm sure that a mathematician with several degrees would be able to understand it. But that's not allowing for the fact that probably Gaijin don't even understand it themselves. So, the other vehicle that they've added in for the Germans is this one down here, which obviously is another post-war vehicle. Now, they've listed it as the Jagdpanzer 4-5, or Hanna Maghenshaw Jagdpanzer 4-5. Everyone else in the world, pretty much, well, the Germans at least anyway, knows this vehicle as the Jagdpanzer Kanone, which is the German Army's name for it. And it's basically their attempt at TD, or post-war tank destroyer, for the German Army. As far as its armor values go, it's very, very lightly armoured. And as far as its gun goes, that's pretty much the same gun as what you get on the M47 and M48 patterns. Now, as far as its effectiveness goes, yeah, the gun's relatively effective, but, and this is, again, it's the standard, but you're starting off with a stock ammo, which is, in this case, APCR. And, what? Alright, yeah, I think. And yeah, you've got heat rounds sat down here. And the heat rounds will penetrate quite a large amount of armour. Until you get the heat rounds though, you're stuck with APCR, which is going to be pants against virtually every single tank that you'll be fighting against, because this thing has a battle rating of 7.7. Even though effectively this has worse armour than the Jagdpanther, which is there, it's sat here. And yet this is a post-war vehicle. Now, I'm not going to say much about this at the moment because it's a little bit, early days as far as the effectiveness of this vehicle goes. But considering its armor values and considering, the gunpowder that it's got, straight away I see that that's wrongly placed or badly placed as far as the battle ratings go. And it also flies in the face of, the T-92, the M41, and this new vehicle that they've added in for the Russians, the PT-76, which is at battle rating 5.7 now. Well, that's fucking hilarious. That is now the lowest battle rating for a post-war vehicle. This vehicle, the PT-76, came out in 1953. It has the same battle rating as a Tiger 1. Which, let's just have a look and see what they reckon. Blah, 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 blah. 1942. Oh, there we go. So, yeah. You've got a 1953 tank with the same battle rating as a 1942 tank. And yet the German post-war tank, or one of them, I mean, Leopard 1's post-war as well, and that's still got a battle rating of 7.7. This one here, the Panzer Cannon, yeah, battle rating 7.7. And then you flick to the Russians and have a look at the PT-76 for a nice kick, or penalty kick into the bollocks, and you see the PT-76 sat there. Which, by the way, and I'll make a good point of this one, also gets post-war ammunition, of which it gets heat rounds with a penetration of 200mm. Yeah, but you know, I'm gonna try and just keep a straight face and just plow through this shit, because the imbalance is just becoming almost unbearable with this game. When Gaijin do these patches, I mean, seriously, it's like they take a segment of their brain out collectively, put it in a fucking jar, rattle it around for a bit, and then they just, you know, each randomly take it back. Or take a piece back. It's almost terrifying when I log into this game, when I see a patch nowadays, just to see what they've, you know, screwed over in the latest thing. I mean, as far as this thing goes, for example, I know it's got paper thin armor, but the fact is, like I say, it's a post-war vehicle. End of fucking story. What it's doing at battle rating 5.7 is just beyond me. It's just fucking retarded. Utterly. It's basically turning this game into World of Tanks, period. I'm not gonna fuck around with this anymore. It's just quite simple. They're basically turning this game into World of Tanks, but with a different game engine. As far as the aircraft goes, they've added in the Yak-9B here, which is, wow, look, that's another Yak. Only this one gets bombs there. It drops bombs vertically out of the back end of the aircraft. But as I've said, it's another Yak. So I'd expect that to have just as much a broken flight model as the rest of these Yaks here. As far as the other aircraft goes for the Russians, well, other vehicles as well, one I have missed out, actually I did forget about that one, sorry about it, is, where is it? There. BM-8-24, or BM-8-24. This thing is another rocket tank. So it's another premium vehicle which you will have to spend gold to get. 3,850 in this case. This sits at battle rating 1 with a... Sorry, battle rating 2.3 at tier 1. These missiles aren't going to do jack shit, basically. And that's why it's at that battle rating, is because the higher tiers, this thing isn't going to do fuck all. In fact, why they put it in is, again, questionable, since it doesn't even have a main gun. But that's the same thing for the Panzerwerfer, but the Panzerwerfer gets much more effective rockets in consideration of this thing. Anyway, back to the Russian aircraft. Let's just do the last bit here, which is the PE-8, as far as I'm aware. Don't think there's any more other than that. Yeah, that's it. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty big. Apparently people are already stating that this is the new Death Star. well, another Death Star, similar to the G8M1, but this one's at a low battle rate, and yeah, this is at battle rate 4. Again, the balance, because this thing has 20 more cannon in its defensive armament as far as its turrets go, and the other thing as well about this thing is it can carry, I think it's a 5-ton bomb. Yeah, there we go, 5,000 kilogram bomb right there. Right? Now you might think, oh, that's nothing, you know, that's pathetic armament, whatever. Well, no. It's not at all. This is a Russian cannon for a start. Actually, it's got 2 turrets with 20 more cannon. One I assume is there, and I'm guessing the other one's there. I don't think it's got a dorsal turret. Although it does have gun turrets here and here. It's also got 2 guns firing forward, I think. Yeah, but they're machine guns from what I can see. But yeah, I mean, basically, you know, currently in game, this has got a respectable, very respectable bomb load, considering that battle rate. This actually has a bigger bomb load than the G8M1 and the G5M1, which are both much higher as far as the battle rates go than this aircraft. So if the battle rates are anything to go by, yeah, you might as well just throw them out the window now. Because it makes no sense for certain vehicles. Particularly Russian ones. Right, now what else have they added in? I'm going to skip over the British for the moment because they have added in a few things for them that I want to check out as far as test driving goes. And just go over to the Japanese. Because the other one that they've added in, as far as vehicles go, is this one. The A7M1 Repu. Now, people have been crying out for this for quite a while, and it's kind of understandable really, because there's not been a lot of variation within the aircraft available for the Japanese, and yeah, you know, the player base has been harping on about the Repu for a very long time. So, you know, they're all quite happy to see that they were getting this put into the game. That is until they saw it was going to be a premium. And to be honest, it's not too bad. It's 2,190 gold. That's relatively cheap. It's obviously more expensive than everything else at its battle rate because it's new. Simple as that, really. That's the easiest answer to that little conundrum. As far as its performance go, from what I've heard about it, it's a performer. It's faster in a dive than a Zero, but isn't actually very good at climbing or getting to those kind of speeds. But moving on, this is where it's going to get quite interesting, or slightly more interesting at least, from my perspective. 2 things that they've changed in the British tree. Well, actually 3. 2 things here. They moved the Vampire and the Venom, which were sat over here, across to the Tempest line. That's because they've just added in the Hawker Hunter, which is now sat here. So yeah, you've got the Hawker Hunter set in the game finally. And there was much hype about this aircraft. I can kind of understand why in certain respects, but you know, until it's in game and you've had the ability to fly it and test it, the hype is not necessarily you know, required or even valid. As you know, the aircraft's performance is going to be significantly different most of the time with regards to what it was like on the dev server. For example, the Vampire. When the Vampire was first on the dev server, people were going nuts about this aircraft. I mean, literally, they were just going crazy about it. Everyone was saying it's the most OP plane in the game. And the reason for that was because Gaijin, when they put it on dev server, they gave the Vampire the same flight model as the MiG-15, and therefore, you know, it performed significantly better than the flight model they gave it to when it actually was released 2 weeks later. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure they've kept that same flight model because it's still terrible. And yeah, I have flown it out. I've flown it out quite a bit, and it's still bad, really bad. As far as the Hunter goes, I'm honestly not sure. I am going to do a test flight with that in a bit, I think. But that's going to be after I've looked at the other change I mentioned, and that's this. Dun dun dun. Yes, we have some British tanks into the game. Unfortunately, though, they're all premiums, and doubly more unfortunately is that you'll have to spend money on these because they're all bundle tanks. That means that you can't buy them with Golden Eagles, so you have to spend real money getting them. I'm just going to have a look now to see if Gaijin have actually updated their store page, because when I checked earlier on, none of these are on there. So let me order it then, please. Open web page. You're purchasing what it costs £8.53. Why is it not showing me any information about this thing? It literally just shows me a Steam page saying Gaijin.net store. You're purchasing War Thunder A13 Mark II starter pack, which costs £8.53. And the pound sign is after the number. Pay via Steam. Well, I'm not going to be doing that today. But let's have a look at what else is there. Now, I was guessing that that was going to be around about £10, so yeah. Well, it's actually around about €9, so, like €10, so we're getting ripped off again with that one. The British people are, once more. As far as the Achilles go, let's have a look at this one. This one is going to cost £13.15. Now, that's, I mean, I guessed yesterday, I think it was, that the British tank, well, the first one would cost around about £6 or £7. So it's roughly £2 more than I expected. With that, I also guessed that the M10 would cost about £10, which it's not, it's £3 more expensive. I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing for the Firefly as well. Let's have a look. No, it's just £1 more expensive than I guessed, I think. Yeah. Because that's £20.85. £20 for one tank. And it's tier 3 as well. And the Black Prince is £20.8. No, the Black Prince is £30.91. That's £5 more expensive than I guessed at yesterday. Right, now let's have a quick look at their details. So we've got the Black Prince in here. Now, interesting. I'm wondering about these arm values that they've got in here, as to their actual, correctness, I suppose. Or rather, as to them being correct. And it does get APDS, okay. But apparently, from what I've heard, the £17 on the Achilles and Firefly don't get it. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, this doesn't get APDS. Well, that's brilliant. And neither does that. Okay, right. So that solved that little problem, or conundrum, or, question, As far as the actual tanks go, yeah, I mean, this one in particular, you can see from the arm values on the left, 28mm of armor. That's not going to stop, like, harsh weather. Never mind tank shots. Yeah, as far as the model goes, it's nice. I like the model. Obviously, the models in this game I've never really had any problems with. It's everything else with regards to the game mechanics and the way things work that I have problems with, and this is going to be no exception of that, I'm pretty sure. It's at battle rank 1.7. Let's just have a quick look. I mean, as far as its speed goes, yeah, it's not mental. That's not so bad, I suppose, as far as battle rating goes with regards to the actual vehicle and how effective that's going to be. I'm tempted to do a test drive with each of these just to, you know, swing them around a little bit, but it's kind of, I'd rather use them in combat. Although, I also have an issue with that as well, because obviously there isn't anything to research for the British. There are no other British tanks to research, and kind of because of that, you know, all of these vehicles, they get free repairs. And as I was saying last night when I was talking about this, I'd rather use those free repairs up for, you know, actually progression, not just for grinding out lines, which are kind of pointless really for me. And yeah, the other thing as well is if you do take any of these, I mean, if you bought the entire range of tanks here, for example, there's no AA unit there. You've not got any anti-aircraft. So, and there's also no, they're not all on the same tier. You know, you got that tier 3, that tier 2, that tier 1, that tier 4. So you don't have a lineup in order to do a respectable, you know, tank game. You can basically take one of them. Which, yeah, this doesn't make any sense why they're doing this with regards to what they've done previously. They've never done this before. And what they've done here is they've taken a leaf out of, what's it called, Wargaming's book, because this is the kind of thing that Wargaming do. They release premium content before they actually release the entire tech tree and put it into game. And they expect people to buy these just on the, you know, premise of what is to come. I mean, looking at that, previously I was tempted to get this, but at £30 for just this, with battle rating 6 and, you know, the stats that it has, I'm kind of like tempted to say no now. Because they're taking the piss again. I mean, another thing as well is this pack, oh well, these bundles, as with the other previous patches, when they did massive amounts of premium vehicles that they added in, and I also expect them to do the same thing with this one as well, and do a premium pack containing all of those for probably around about between £60 and £70, with some of the, you know, bits and pieces added in as well. Need update 1.53 Firestorm. Click here to see the list of changes. I've already had a look at that. And yeah, I've just been through most of them. Now, as far as the additional changes go, they've also added in new water rendering, physically based rendering, which is the kind of bump mapping effect that I was on about, and support for 64-bit versions. Now that is interesting, obviously, at least slightly, and a new destructible environment. Now, as far as I can tell, that's only actually on 2 of the maps in game at the moment. At least that's what they announced in their video with the release of this patch. One of which is one of the new ground forces maps, which is Cologne, I think, and another one is possibly Berlin. I'm honestly not sure of the second one, but yeah, either way, you know, it's only on 2 of the maps, so don't be getting your hopes up on that one. What is this? Oh no, Theo's just taking out tanks and he's raging already. Anyway, so yeah, alright. Actually, that's a good point. I'll try that tutorial and have a look to see what they've done. Oh, and yeah, look, the lack of events here again. I mean, seriously, it's just as broken as it was the last time I checked. So let's just leave that alone, shall we? And I'll have a look at this, just to see what they've done.
Welcome to the second part of the tank battle tutorial. Please move to the route marker.
I can see what his problem is. I've read about this in the patch notes. Yeah. And they basically altered it so you can't zoom in as much. Apparently made it historically accurate, as they always say.
Noticed in battles against other players, enemy tank armor can be tough to penetrate. Now, move the cursor over the indicated tank.
Oh.
This tank has its frontal armor facing you. This is the strongest part of a tank's armor, but you can still penetrate it wherever the aim assist indicator turns green. Find a weak point in the tank's armor and destroy it.
It's an IS4. Oh, Lord.
Weak points in the frontal armor are the viewing slots of the tank commander and the driver. The aim assist indicator will change to green or yellow at weak points.
Saying green there. I'm saying yellow there. Well, that's a view sign.
Firing at the tank's weak spots to destroy internal modules.
Well, you see, this is the problem. Because if this was an actual game,
Now,
I would be dead already. Because he would just one-shot me. Really? Standard APs? Really? I've penetrated the T-32 doing this before. Of that, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Okay. And I've got to waste time shooting random shots at this thing just to prove a point.
you can see the target is well protected. You have switched to composite shells.
I'm really enjoying this tutorial.
They pierce
You can tell.
almost any armor, but have a lower destructive effect. Now you can, for example, good job. Move to another Caponier.
Caponier. They're introducing or making up new words again.
For a better view of your target, switch to gunner. The fired shell flies along a ballistic trajectory, while the reticule shows where the cannon is aiming. If you shoot at a distant object using the reticule, the shell will drop before it reaches its target.
I've not checked out the crew skills yet, so I can't really say. I'll look after this little thing. God, I hate arcade.
Shot. Great job. You won. Now you're a true tanker.
No, I really don't feel like it. Not after that. Just, yeah. There is really so much wow in this game. Again. Well, I'm doing the tutorial anyway. So, the other thing apparently that they've changed is the crew skill system. Yeah! What the fuck is that? tempted to just close that and walk away. Never to look at it again. There's half an experienced gunner in this plane. That must be quite painful. This is making my brain hurt. Looking at this. Okay, let's have a look at the ground unit, shall we? Yeah, what the fuck is agility? What is... This is a new one. Oh, right, I get it now. No, I don't, even. Right, yeah, this agility skill is a new skill that they've just added in. Not sure what that was before. It wasn't vitality. Yeah, I don't know what... Where... Yeah, what... Just... Yeah. Fuck. Oh, God damn it. This is the... That's the ace, there we go. Yeah, so to ace the crew, you do... Well, you buy it there, and then that becomes... I assume that would be like a big golden star saying, yes, what did you spend money on this game? There we go, like that. Yeah, ooh, is all I can say to that. Yeah, I know that agility skill hasn't been there before I read the description as well, but it's just that they have, you know, just randomly put it in. From what I recall of reading about the crew changes on the webpage, that wasn't mentioned. It's just a new feature. But yeah, going back to these. I'm guessing that they are going to do their normal, you know, pay some money, otherwise you're not going to be able to advance past tier 1 to, you know, British tanks kind of stuff. And then looking at what's there, or what's available, I think, I mean, I'm tempted to just go with that, buy that, and say fuck the rest. That's, I mean, no offense against Polish people or anything like that, but it's a Polish Army Division tank. Therefore, to me, doesn't really interest me at all. And I think the reason why they've done that is because there's a lot of Polish people that play this game, and when Polish people see that you can buy, you know, specific decals that relate to Polish divisions or military, etc., etc., they're quite patriotic about getting hold of them and then being, you know, using those vehicles or decals. And like I say, I'm not racist towards Polish people or anything like that, but Gaijin in particular, that I think is the reason why they put that particular variant of the Firefly in, is to basically take advantage of the Polish population of the player base. This travesty is what I'm going to call that. For £30, I mean, for £30 I could probably buy a cheap Russian wife for that. So, kind of explains how expensive that is, I suppose. The Achilles, tempted to get it, but with that on it, no. What the fuck? 63rd Tank Regiment, I assume that's supposed to be a British regiment. Although with that big fucking white star there, I'd be kind of confused as to that claim. So yeah, I'm tempted. I think if it is going to be another case of you're going to have to buy one of these to get onto the closed beta test for the British tanks, that I'll probably end up just buying that first one. After all, out of all of those, that never thought. Fuck Gaijin and their idea of it being, oh, it's a pioneering tank. No, it's not. It was never used. Go fuck yourselves with that little piece of information. As far as these two go, like I say, that one I'm put off because of the division it's associated with and the fact that it will be in the Tetri anyway. Plus it doesn't get APDS. That I'm kind of put off because of the massive fucking American decal on the front of it. Plus the fact that it doesn't get APDS. That does get APDS, but it costs 30 quid, and as I already said, you know, it's rather expensive. Kind of. Stupidly expensive. And that, in my opinion, is probably one of the more unique vehicles in that lineup. Or at least in my mind, that's more of a special vehicle than any of those. More so considering the cost. Which is still bloody expensive considering that that's only a tier 1 vehicle I need to add as well. As far as the E100 goes, the E100 is going to be put in under some kind of special event, SoonTM, in the near future. When that is, yeah, no idea. Gaijin don't give information out like that. Because most of the time I think they're trying to figure out if they can actually put it in before they think they can put it in. And when they can't, it's still a bit broken, you know, that kind of stuff. Right, now I've, you know, had a little bit of a ramble. Had a look at everything that's been put in. But I've not actually driven out anything yet. Now, I am tempted to just start grinding straight for the Hawk Hunter, but that just basically means me farming the or certain aircraft over and over again. There are aircraft that will be doing just to spade them out, and doing so getting a bonus towards the Hunter. But most of those are down here, so the bonuses aren't going to be that much. As far as the easiest aircraft goes to get, well, it's going to be the tier 1s. So I think what I'm going to do is just knock them out of the way first, and then concentrate on the Hawk Hunter later. Wow, okay. So this is the new graphics. I've seen a lot of kind of gloss so far. That's a lot of gloss, yeah. It's almost like they've just varnished this plane again. You see all that weathering on it? Nah, forget about it. What they did was they just varnished over it. There we go. You don't need to worry about the weathering, mate. Here, have some varnish. Have some more. And have some more varnish as well. There you go. You've got about 3 inches thick worth of varnish on your plane now. That should do you nicely. It's on the underside as well. I think Gaijin had been talking to Micah Bay again. Yeah, that's why I said varnish. The thing is though, it's probably not just my plane that has all the varnish on it. I'm thinking it's all of the other planes as well, including the enemy ones. So we're all up shit creek together, really, with no paddles between us. You wouldn't think that this plane is actually brown, would you? Well, I say brown. You can't really even see that on here. It's more of a kind of dark grey, I suppose, is what it's looking like on my screen. Thinking about it, I mean, it kind of makes sense, you know, because in World War II, there wasn't colour film. So what Gaijin are basically doing is they're making it so that the game's going to become black and white. So then you can really feel like you're in World War II. Fun times in War Thunder. They're back again. Well, I say that. Yeah, they've got the post-processing effects, haven't they, for adding black and white and sepia tone and so on. But they've basically done that. I mean, yeah. I would go down and check the water out over there, but that was going to mean ditching on my altitude. Looks like there's a tidal wave coming in from over there. Or something. Two XP50s going for orbit, so I'm not going to bother climbing anymore. I'm going to dive on this guy. Oh, don't tell me the fire's gone out. I hate it when that happens. Yeah. He would have probably gone down, but that G2 decided to kill him. And 2 run a XP50s by most things. Oh no, B25 still up. Okay, that's going to kill him. Looks like the P47 is going to get there first. Right, they've got one guy left. He's in a XP50 in orbit. I'd a guess. Or maybe not. Maybe he has come down. But who knows? I can't be asked to activate an order at this stage of the game. Considering someone's just spotted one anyway. I think the only thing that I'm kind of noticing with this lighting effect is, yeah, the lighting seems to be quite brighter than normal, or the sun does. And thanks to this, I don't know when you want to call that, well, I'll call it varnish. Thanks to the varnish effect, it's kind of giving me a little bit of eye strain. Because there's just so many reflections going off, it's kind of, yeah, it's a little bit annoying to look at, to be honest. In fact, let's have a quick look. Right, so that's not good. And there's no brightness there, so I can't change it any further unless I, manually change the brightness on my monitor. That's brilliant. That's well done, Gaijin. Just awesome. I'd fucking hate to see this game on maximum gamma. You'd need sunglasses to watch it. He stole the kill again. Yeah, how many kills? 4 kills he ended up with, and 3, at least 2 of them I saw him steal. One of which was one of mine. Yeah, I think I might have to kill steal. Oh, kill steal. Team kill that asshole. Oh, seem to have made him smoke slightly. Appears to be quite a bit of a problem. Wow. Interesting. That's all new. You can't see it on Twitch, but basically, as well as that new thing that popped up in the bottom, on my right corner of the screen, it just gave me about, I don't know, 5 or 10 different achievements for Steam by playing one game. Vehicle research 9,992. That I think will probably get on everything unlocked. So that's got me the door here. Cancel that for the moment. I'm not connected to chat apparently. Oh, have I been chat banned already? For my mild comment on the moderator channel. Alright, so that's yeah, okay, fucking chill out, game. What the fuck, man? Chats. Chat. I'm not connected to chat. Okay. You can please calm down. That would be great. Right. So yeah, right. That's basically unlocked the first, well, the 2 Dorniers. I've just got to get the E4 now. That will take me maybe 2 games. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of already kind of, I don't know, not going to say bored. Well, I suppose I am a little bit. Wow, it's rejoined chat. Oh my god. Or has it? No. Ah. Yell opera. Okay. Can I just not just yell boobs instead? Makes more sense. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I can be asked to do another Joan game now. It's, oh, hang on a sec, let me, wait a sec. Wait, Oh, yeah, that is one thing I just remembered that I do want to check before I do anything else. Dun dun dun. Yeah, I knew it. This just kind of highlights the point of how bad Gaijin really do things. You know, I was saying how, you know, with the British tanks, you don't have a lineup at the moment. There's no, you know, kind of lineup you can take in with them, because you've only got 1 tank of each tier. Now, the way that Gaijin could have got around that was by putting the British tanks onto the simulator battle, which they've not done. So you can't take the British tanks into the simulator battle. I mean, they only had to put 2 in there, or 1 even, and therefore, you know, you could do that, but you can't. They've just gone. It's just their, you know, half-assed fucking way of doing things. Would take too much brain power for them to do things like that. Right. So Americans. Now again, I've got premiums with free repairs, so I'd rather take them out than something that doesn't. This is being one of them. So I saw one of those, or one of these rather, in that last game. Just gotta hope that I don't get a similar bad team as far as the allies go. Operation time down, that's an interesting one. Oh wow. So apparently 30 seconds is too long for the matchmaking app. That's quite worrisome. Yeah, that's not good. I have to say, after seeing that happen twice, it's not a good sign. And yeah, I'm guessing, as Vicious just wrote in Twitch chat, that the server has indeed crashed. I'm kind of really not surprised, considering, you know, this is patch day, and one thing I did forget to mention was that after I'd finished downloading 1.53 earlier, there was then 2 patches to fix 1.53 before the server was actually started up, or, you know, opened to the public. So yeah, I think Gaijin were kind of hedging their bets with this one. And as far as my own kind of opinion goes, I was expecting this to be full of bugs, which yeah, appears to be the case. I'm going to try that once more time, and then I might have to try doing a restart of the game, see if that makes any difference. I don't think it will, because it's probably at their end where the issues are occurring. Yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to restart, so I'll be right back. There's just so much fun in this game at the moment. Or, I say in this game, I'm not actually in the game. You got in, you fucking hacker. Report him. What's your in-game name, bend over? Aha! Aha! Fuck you, bend over. I am in the game. Right. Oh, the divine comedy that is War Thunder. $5,000 players online. Oh fuck, I got into a game as well. Yeah, but you're forgetting, Bedova, that it has 50mm of armour. And it's a battle range 7.7. And you also don't start off with heat rounds. You've got a nice little grind to get to that, I'm afraid. Oh, did I mention that the top tier tanks, you know, matchmaking is still as broken as what it was a month ago? I don't care if it's 5.9 seconds. You've got 50mm of armor between you and getting killed. You still got to get into a position to fire that weapon. And they've added in new spotting mechanics as well, which I have not yet tracked down. I know you start off with APCR. That's something else I saw earlier on. And APCR does shit. Because it does less damage. What you should do, bend over, is go and have a look at the PT-76. And have a look at the battle range for that vehicle. Well, this doesn't seem to have been given the same... Well, actually, no, it does. Looking at it again, I've got to remember that this is a lighter colour to the P-47 that I've just flown. But yeah, this looks as though it's got the same level of gloss as the P-47. Well, I mean, as far as that goes, Bendover, with regards to the unlocking of the parts of, like, the fire extinguisher and the repair kit, that's working as intended. Why would they change something that they think is perfectly fine and logical? I mean, it's a bit like saying that the Yak aircraft flight models are wrong. I mean, you know, this is Guy Jim we're talking about. When have they ever made a mistake? Yep. And that's just for the basic parts. That's not the heat round. And you need the heat round in order to stand a chance against T10Ms. Really. Or IS-4s or IS-3s or T-54s. Yeah. You know what's even funny about the T-92? Is, yeah, it's battle rating. Compare its battle rating to that of the PT-76. Ah, that didn't take too much ammo. Well, it didn't actually. Started off with 1,000 rounds. Oh, you got DC'd? Or are you talking about me? I better not be getting DC'd now because they've restarted the server. Because if they do, I'm not going to be happy, bend over. You might have to bend over. think he just lost his wingtip. I'm not sure. I love how he thinks I'm still in range. He can barely fly in a straight line and he's still trying to chase after me. I'll let that guy chase after him. And there's still 2 more up here. Well, I say there's 2 more up here. There's actually the entire enemy team left. So my team hasn't done anything other than get killed. Both engines on fire. I'm dead. Now that I'm pretty sure. But hopefully he's dead as well. Because I'll set him on fire. I've got a hole in my left wing. That's a bit more than a hole. Yeah, that's quite a big hole. And no, his fire went out. Balance. The plane's still burning as well, even better. Oh, I'm not going to be sticking around for that one. Right. I wonder, is it going to let me join? Wow. Oh, it's just this game. How can they do really be this fucking bad at doing their game? Oh god. I was just about to literally write in chat there. I suggest that you quash any rumours that there's problems with this game on the forums. I didn't get a chance because I lost connection to the game. Yeah, I'm gonna restart. If there's been another hotfix. Technical. Oh my god. Right, okay. They've got an announcement on the launcher. It says technical work on the servers. At the moment, you may experience problems entering the game due to technical problems on the servers. We are taking all measures possible to solve it as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience and understanding. So yeah, I'm gonna try this once more. If I can't get in, then I'm gonna leave it for the time being. Come back to this later on. Yeah, it's down again.